Yo guys, welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. How you guys doing? Things I want to discuss today, but first, I usually do it at the end of videos and probably a lot of you don't even watch it. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'm on my way to 800 subs, so if you enjoy the content on this channel, make sure to support the channel by just clicking subscribe, and I'm really appreciate you guys. So the things I want to talk about today, first of all, it's a thing that I never actually talk about on this channel, which is FIFA or video games in general. As you may or may not go, I'm a FIFA guy over PES. You know, I buy FIFA every year, and I've bought it every year since like FIFA 09 or FIFA 08, I think. And FIFA just has that chokehold on my wallet, you know, every year. As much as I complain about it, as much as I moan about, you know, the things that they take away or they add or how they ruin the game, I still buy it every season. And this year, once again, when I was almost convinced to buy PES this next coming year, because I was just so fed up with FIFA. They come out and announced that they made a partnership with Inter. So, you know, we're going to have all the game faces, going to have, you know, the full team and some sort of promotion around Inter and FIFA 21. And we're back to square one and I'm buying FIFA again. But today, FIFA released their official ratings for a lot of the players, not all of them, but for most of them, is the top 100. And they released what are the top 10 for the Serie A. Let's have a look here. Top 10 players for Serie A. Ronaldo, Dybala, top 2 players. Not too many complaints there. Then Handanovic being the third best player in the league, the best keeper in the league at his age, after he's had, you know, not his greatest season. You know, questionable, but okay, we're not going to complain that that's a higher rating than we expected. But the one I have a problem with is the Romelu Lukaku one here, 85 with 81 pace, 83 shooting, 84 physicality, which is decent. How does Lukaku have the best season of his career, where he matches R9's goal tally from R9's first season at Inter, 34 goals all season, the best season he's ever had in his career, and he stays on the same rating? Doesn't make sense. But this is normal for FIFA. This is nothing new. If you've played FIFA for many years, you know that they just always pretty much get them wrong. They hardly ever spot on, and it's the case once again. I looked at, you know, Lukaku's past ratings, and his highest rating was actually 2 seasons ago when he was, you know, his first season at United, and he was an 87. And how does that make sense? And he had those 2 decent seasons at United. You know, they weren't too bad. The first season was much better. Then he had that bad season the second time round, and then he had that amazing season last year. It just doesn't make any sense. The Premier League bias is so obvious, you know, the fact that Lukaku one just shows it there, how he was at 87 when he was at Man United. Now that he's at Inter, he's at 85. It just doesn't make any sense. How De Vrij is not in the top 10 right there as well, because he was voted the best defender in the league, which, you know, not many people will argue. He was my Inter player of the season as well. And somehow he's not made it there ahead of Chiellini, who was injured for pretty much all the season. And even in general, you know, he has declined a little bit, even though he is still a top defender, as he proved with Italy in an international break. Koulibaly had a dip last season as well, and still he's at 88. You know, it's just baffling with FIFA. But, you know, what can you do? Still be out there buying it. Let me know in the comments below. Are you guys FIFA guys or PES guys? And yeah, just along that point, Lukaku tweeted out, you know, obviously must have seen the rating, people must have sent it to him, and he's mad. He's not happy with FIFA, as he shouldn't be. Let's be honest, FIFA just messed with the rating, so we start complaining about the game and giving more publicity. I ain't with this shit. I know what I do. King Romelu Lukaku. That's exactly what they do. You know, they probably do it just for the publicity. They know some players, you know, nowadays they tweet about it so they get more views, and then they'll tweet out like a new ring. They'll upgrade them just, you know, to make them feel better, or they'll put out like that new Ultimate Team card out there with the full stats, you know, that are jacked up. Marketing kings. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to more serious, more important things than FIFA. And it was the really baffling rumor that Godin is close to a move to Cagliari. Not that, you know, they're interested in him. The rumor just came out of the blue from Gazzetta, which obviously must be taken with a big pinch of salt, that, you know, Godin is close to agreeing a move. And here we have the Cagliari director who's confirming that there has been talks for Godin, and Godin's already, you know, given his approval to the move as well. And this has come out of the blue. Everyone was saying that Skriniar was the one that's going to be sold, or, you know, if there is going to be a good offer for Skriniar, he's the one that's out there, available, because obviously kind of fell out of favour with Conte at the end, whereas Godin came in and really adapted well by the end of the season. Now it seems to be, it's turned on its head. It seems to be Skriniar is the one that's going to be kept, and Godin is the one that's being sold, or left on a free. In theory, I can see why Inter would want to do this, because Godin has really high wages. It was a free transfer, and often with free transfer you have to pay well above the normal wages to secure the player. And with Godin, he earns about 5.5 million net a year, which is quite considerable for his age. He's 34 years old now, and that probably works out around 8 or 9 million a year in total gross wages, which is quite a bit, and he still has 2 years to go on his contract. So you can see that there will be considerable savings for Inter overall if he does leave on a free to Cagliari. But I'm not really seeing the point if the rumor is that Matteo Darmian is going to be the replacement. And as I've said in previous videos, I've grown to accept that we're going to be linked with these types of average players, average ballers, and Antonio Conte, because he just has these weird fetishes. But how does that make any sense? He's been moaning about lacking players with experience, and Godin is the guy with the most experience. He's the biggest winner in this team. Won many titles with Atletico. He's many battles with Uruguay and Copa America. This guy is battle hardened. In the dressing room, what he can offer to players in terms of advice, in terms of tips to improve them, this is invaluable. Seeing him leave on a free to Cagliari just doesn't make any sense. But that space that he makes up with his wages could be used up by the incoming Vidal deal, possibly, because Vidal is going to be earning around similar amount of money that Godin is earning, around the 5-6 million mark. In that case, it does make sense. And remember, we don't have a massive budget this summer because of the COVID issues, the reduction in kind of income and revenue, which is going to continue into next season because of the lack of crowds and matchday revenue. But overall, I'm not too big of a fan of this move. If it happens, if it's Godin that wants to move, then fair enough. That shows that also that he's pretty much done mentally, with the game at the top level, if he's happy to go to Cagliari. One of the reasons that's been mentioned, Italian journalists doing somersaults to make sense of a deal, is that apparently his wife was born in Cagliari and, she has some ties to Cagliari. I don't really see how that could be a motivating factor for a player to move. And in terms of Cagliari, the cheapskates, they loaned Radja for free, and we contributed to a little bit of his wages at the beginning. I think we contributed to the July and August wages from last year to make sure that they could afford him. And now Godin earns even more than Nainggolan, so I don't know how they're going to manage to afford him unless he takes a considerable pay cut. And that's what the Cagliari director says here. It's not an easy negotiation, but it's a big opportunity for us in terms of leadership and experience. Yeah, no shit. That's what Godin brings. Yeah, I'm quite baffled by this move. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Is this, are you guys in favor of this move? I know that a lot of people weren't impressed with Godin, and I know he's not had the most impressive season, especially by Godin standards. We expected maybe a little bit more, but I didn't think it was a bad season at all. And just letting him leave on the free after a year, at least hoping, how we bought Kolarov from Roma for 1.5 million. I thought, we were to get at least something, but completely letting him go on a free, a bit baffling to me. But yeah, what do you guys think about this move? Moving on from that one, there was another really weird transfer rumor that just came out of the blue as well. The JeanMichel Seri link to Inter, the Fulham midfielder who used to play for Nice, I believe it was, in France. This guy used to be linked with Barcelona even at one point when he was in France because of his style of play, very neat and tidy on the ball. Then he went to Fulham, which was a really weird move. And obviously Fulham were awful in the Premier League and they got relegated, and this guy stayed on. It seemed like there was many offers for him. And how does, we went from Kante to Seri, and his agent has confirmed it here. We've made first contact with Inter, we're working on it. He's very interested, he loves Italian football. Inter a first choice for him. He loves the Nerazzurri Conte and his style. Yeah, basically this guy is looking for a way out of Fulham because they're probably going to get relegated again this season. It's just, Conte is, what's his specification when he's talking to Ausilio Marotta, get me an energetic black midfielder. What's this? This guy is just, It's so funny. He's literally trying to make a Premier League pace and power team in the Serie A. Such an interesting experiment. But you know, I've not really watched Seri play. If you guys have, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I remember seeing some clips of him when he's in France, and he did look very impressive. But when I've watched him in the Premier League a couple of times, you know, 2 seasons ago, he didn't look that good. Obviously, the Premier League is a different beast compared to any other league out there. But you know, if it's not Kante, then I'd rather it not be. If it's not Kante, then it has to be Thomas Partey or someone like that. You know, high quality player, multifaceted, athletic, ball carrying. I don't think Seri is, you know, inter level. So yeah, that one was funny. It came out of the blue, but I'm not a fan of this rumor at all. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated with what's going on in the world of Inter in the next few coming weeks. We've got the preseason friendlies coming up as well. I'll try to, you know, see if I can do some reactions, you know, do some content around those. Yeah, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.